Show them what you got.
Good evening to everyone. Welcome to Tuesday Night League, round 6 from Watkins, Glen. Boys have just finished official practice and have gone into 15 minutes of qualifying. Sorry I didn't get on that little bit earlier, as by the time I get home from work and do dinner, time just gets away from you, unfortunately. So welcome to everyone. Just while I finish off a few things, I'm going to let you all just sit back, relax. I think we'll throw it on to Naked Blade, as he got fastest in practice. So just bear with me for a minute and I'll be back in a moment. Just sitting with Maxi at the moment. Yeah, let's go Jimbo, let's go indeed Coop. Naked's just trying to get some heat in his tyres. Actually running solo again tonight. Jimbo is racing tonight, I believe. Just might... Jimbo certainly is racing tonight. It's like we have our own little Porsche Cup here. I was going to be joined by Naked tonight, but it appears like he's running. So we'll go solo again. So bear with me. Hopefully it won't be too boring. Let's see what Naked can do. He's just still trying to run around and get some warmth in the brakes, warmth in the tyres. He's going through the bus stop. Jimbo's just posted the fastest lap in quali. Let's see how he goes with maintaining that. Let's see, how many guys have we got running tonight? We've got one more than last week. We're hoping for a bit more. Unfortunately, we can only get what we can get in, can't we? Jimbo on pole at the moment with a 145.9 and John 0.4 behind him, and Ty not very far behind John at all. And throw a blanket over the top three. So as you can see, Naked's 0.1 up at the moment. Quickest lap in practice. Let's see how we go. Sorry guys, I'm still really trying to get used to all this. Does my head in. That's what I wanted. Seem to have that Porsche going really well at the moment. Looks rock solid. Not like he's fighting with the steering wheel at all. That is good smooth lines there from Naked. 0.6 up. Where's this going to put him? Naked will go from 6th to 1st. What a great lap. He's going to keep pushing. He's down on time, but he's going to keep pushing. See if he can make some of it up. Just looks so smooth through those corners there. See how he looks through the bus stop. Oh, does it with ease. I don't think he'll beat his previous laps. He's struggled through there. Got a little bit loose. I think Naked's a little bit far back, nearly 0.6, 0.5. I don't think he'll beat his previous lap, so we might just skip through some of the other drivers and see what we can find out. Jimbo's just gone quicker again. Jimbo, the race winner from last Tuesday. We had the sprint last week. Naked's pulled out of that one. We'll jump on board with Jimbo. See if we can't find him out on track. Jimbo's half a second down as well on this lap. Plenty of time to throw in another lap. Jimbo's sneaking up behind Ty. Naked's gone back to the pit. Might throw in a fresh set of boots to go out there and see what he can do. 6 minutes left in quali for these guys. We'll sit with Jimbo for a minute and see what he can do. Getting a bit through there. We just jump to the totem to see what the boys have got time-wise. So you can see the top 7 less than 1 second. Very deep under brakes, Jimbo. Hopefully the boys from 8 being that Gaza through to St. Sim 11, hopefully they can pick up a little bit extra time here. I think we might be in for a good race tonight. 4.5 minutes go of quali. Jimbo's bailed out. Watkins back out, 0.17 behind Jimbo. And then a little bit of a gap, and I say a little bit, we're talking the blink of an eye here, down to Ty. And Big John not far behind him. We've got Harris 88, not far behind there, 0.6 behind Jimbo. Shamrock's jumped back to the pits. Randall, 0.8, 6 behind Jimbo. So these guys will be pushing hard tonight. I'd like to see EXO and Saint Sim get to within 2 seconds of Jimbo. No, Nathan's pulled out. See how we go with this lap to Clyde. I think we're under a very good close race tonight. So we've got fairly decent weather. Track is at optimum. All sun for at least the next half an hour with a temperature of 29 degrees, track temperature 39. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the quali. So I'm just going to leave you for a moment with Ty, just while I tidy up a few extra things, and I will be back for race start. Welcome back. Sitting with Ty at the moment, still doesn't look like any change to the top few drivers there. Good to see EXO and Saint Sim under that 2-second mark on pole. Wait time of 1:50. Quali is done and dusted. This will be Ty's last lap. And he remains in 4th. Jimbo out, Randall's back to the pits, Ty's in the pits, Shamrock, Stu. everyone else trying to sneak in one more lap. See if we can't see any changes to positions here. See if Jimbo can't improve on his lap time, so we might just jump back in car with him. He's up at the moment, but he's borderline. I think once you get into that red on these lap times, it's very hard to pull it back into the green. He's done it, but he's lost it. So he's going to have to be very smooth through here. No, I think he's trying to pick up 2.25. I think that's going to be a little bit of an ask. As you can see, he hasn't pulled back much there. So I think Jimbo will remain in pole position. Nearly clips the wall, if not he might have taken advantage of paintwork there. Alright, so there we go. There's your qualifying standings for TNL's around 6 at Watkins Glens. And Jimbo with a 145.5, Naked with a .172 behind Randall, 0.30 behind Jimbo. Now these times you see there, they are the time behind our pole position holder. So John 0.42, Ty Morgo 0.47, Harris 0.62, Shamrock 0.75. That's your top 7, all less than 1 second apart. So now the boys will jump back to the pits. They'll stuff around with their cars, make some slight changes if they need to. Maybe make sure they've got the right fuel, tyres all ready to go. We have an hour race tonight. Not sure on what the pit requirements are. So we'll just have to wait and see what they've got. I will try and jump into Discord just to see if I can find the requirements for tonight's pit stops. It'll be interesting to know. I'll tell you what, the way that the boys, just all the admins for ROOZ, the way that these guys put these briefings together for the guys that are driving, it's so very well done. It's so very well done. So we might just we'll jump in with Jimbo at the moment, but we'll go for the chase cam, just so that we can see, try and get a view of everyone who is going to be running during the first lap. Just try and spice things up a little bit. I'm still trying to find for you, if I can, just some information on their pit stops tonight. A little bit out of touch with the season. Not ready to go. You've got just on 50 seconds to go. Not sure why we haven't got any sound from the cars when we jump back to the pits. Seemed to be working okay last week, but yeah. Okay, so I can see here from Bounty.
30 seconds.
Oh, there we go. Got a little bit of something. Okay, so Bounty has pit stops are optional for the race.
20 seconds.
So whether the boys want to stop for tyres or fuel is entirely up to him. So it will be interesting to see if anyone
10 seconds.
chooses to stop for tyres or fuel. Now that looks like it's going to be a short formation lap. Again, for some reason, I don't know why we're missing the sound on this view. There we go. So short formation lap by the look of it. Drivers will be trying to get some heat into those tyres and brakes. I think the top 3, top 4, I know the top 7 are all within a second of each other. So this is going to be very interesting to see how these guys handle cold tyres, cold brakes, short formation laps. So they don't get a chance to get the heat into the tyres, but here we go. Green, green, green. So let's see how we go here. Now, Jimbo's got a good start being on pole. It'll take him into the first corner in the lead. Naked just right there behind him. A little bit of a gap, but it's you know, I'm sure things will tighten up. Going to try and get around all the drivers tonight because these guys, they race hard. We saw a little bit of action last week. We just happened to be in the right places at the right time, but we'll certainly see how we go. A bit of a shortcut from Jimbo. He's cutting the grass there. Maybe brought Naked just that little bit closer to him, but not really enough to make a difference. But I think we'll certainly see things change once there's heat in those tyres. Brakes are a big part of it. You want those brakes to get a bit of temp into them as well because, you know, heaven forbid we should want to pull up and stop. Jimbo with a nice little lead. We've got a little bit of a freight train behind John, but in no way at all is John holding anyone up. He's one of the best drivers going around at the moment. A lot of these guys are very good at what they do. Jimbo's stretching the legs there with, you know, not a lot of warmth in the tyres or the brakes. He's off to a good start. I think Naked probably just really needs to find his rhythm at the moment. I think once he does that, it will be a different story. So while the boys do get into a rhythm and do settle down, we might just kind of flick back through the pack, see if anyone's battling. You know, we've got Harris. Harris is right behind Ty Morgo. That looks like our closest one at the moment. Oh, he's actually got past Ty. But Ty's not giving it up. Someone will have to give way here for the bus stop. That's certainly not where you want to be fighting for real estate. Ty's still there. We might try and jump into the car here with Ty. And again, there we go. Sound, for some reason, the sound is not playing the game tonight. Either of my cameras, to be honest. Yeah, see, sorry guys, I'm all over the joint tonight. See that? You get home late from work and this is what happens. Oh, a bit of a wall there from Harris. A bit of a hurry up from Ty. Thank you, Coop. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to... I haven't made any changes since last week, Coop, so I'm kind of hoping that it may not be too bad. I think the biggest thing, Coop, I'm struggling with at the moment is the bloody camera angles. Interesting to see, though, if I can put Harris back under the pump. Did have a tap on the wall there. I certainly was there trying to give him a hurry up. I don't think this is the place to do it, although Ty's got the inside line. It's going to take him too. That's brilliant. That's good racing, but I think, I don't know if there's been a tap there on Harris or whether Harris is just backfired off to give Ty space, but as you can see in the mirror there, Harris has dropped way back. Alright, now we'll just jump back into the totem just so we can see who else is. We might jump to John in a minute. He seems to be very close behind Nate. Oh no, John's actually got naked. There you go. Whereas you can see there, Jimbo seems to have 2 laps in and he's got a nearly 4.5 second lead. So I might jump down to St. Sim here for a sec. He seems to be pretty close behind Stu. So I might try and find St. Sim on the drivers here without boring the pants off anyone. Exo's trying to, he's keeping a half-second gap behind St. Sim. So if Exo can find his rhythm and pick up a little bit of extra time, Stu just morphed into thin air and he's back again. Looks like it might have thrown Saint out a little bit out of whack there. If Exo can pick up a little bit of the pace here and tap onto the back of St. Sim, then I think you can get right in amongst this. But I see that we've got all 11 drivers here. Exo's certainly not disgracing himself. Exo's been out of it for a little while. He's only recently been back in after a little bit of a hiatus, so pulled up a little bit there under brakes for the cornering there, but really like to see Exo, really come right back up behind St. Sim here and see if they can't put each other under the thumb. Might just flick through some drivers while they're having a look. A little battle pack here between Gazza, Shamrock and Harris, so this could be a little bit interesting. I might even try and jump onto Harris here. I'll do the old spoiler cam if I can bloody find it. There we go. Let's see if Shamrock can't chase down Harris here. Picked up very nicely done in the brakes there. You can see how, you can certainly see, especially I think in this kind of view, and you can certainly see the difference between the guys and their braking. Some of these guys just, like, I know when I drive these cars, I seem to brake half an hour before everyone else. But then you see some of these guys, they're under brakes, they are just absolutely amazing at what they can do. And it just astounds me. I look at these guys and just go, how do you brake there? How do you brake that close to the corner? It's not human. I'm seriously sure that some of these guys are just absolute aliens. So you can see there just how well Shamrock comes back up, and you can see that Gazza is doing the same on Shamrock. I think because Harris is, as much as he's got a little bit of distance on Shamrock now, you can't tell me he's not watching those mirrors. And Shamrock is going to be doing the same with Gazza. You know, it's hard to put in quick lap times when you're watching your rear vision mirror light, especially when you've got someone that close behind you, because you've only got to make one small mistake, and that's it. That 1 second lead you've got over the car behind you is gone. So thank you everyone for joining in tonight. Hopefully I'm not going to bore the crap out of you. like I say, it's always hard when you're trying to sit here and yabber on your own. It's always nice to have someone to jump in and join you so you can bounce off each other. I think Harris has found his groove here at the moment. He seems to be certainly stretching the legs on that horse from Shamrock a little bit. Nice, cool, calm and collected. You've never seen a race car driver so calm, have you? Alright, let's jump back and see what we can find. Let's see who's close. So we might just jump up to Randall. Randall seems very close. Exactly, Coop. I think we might jump in with Randall. Okay, alright, so we're going to try and jump right into this. We'll jump to Randall if we can find him. There we go. The tyre's creeping up behind him as well. That's a good looking car, just quietly. So we might keep an eye on these three at the moment, because I think these guys bunch up a little bit, and you can see Harris is certainly not far behind either. And as you can see on our little totem there, John, who's taken a sizable chunk, looks like he's taken a second out of Jimbo. And when you look at that view, John is not that far up the track. So we might sit with these boys for a little bit, just to see if things tighten up a little bit. Harris seems to have dropped off a little bit. He looked a lot closer there before. They're certainly not out of the picture. I think the thing that the boys always told me is, you get your consistency right and the pace will come. What do they say? Slow is fast. Slow in, fast out. And I think these guys, if they can just hit their brake points, get their acceleration out of the corner, I think, because like we said earlier, top seven are less than a second behind each other. So you can see that these guys are really starting to come into the point where you'd consider it bunched up. Randall behind Naked, we could be a little bit closer, I think, and that's exactly what we want. And if you have a look at Naked on some of those shots there, you can actually see Big John is not that far in front. Now, Big John's taken some time out of Jimbo. Are we going to see Naked? I mean, Naked's only a second behind John. And he's dragging Randall and Morgo with him. And I've said it 100 times already. I mean, these cars are so well turned out. The guys, I think they put a lot of time and effort into their colour schemes, and the cars absolutely look fantastic. We've now got Ty Morgo all over the back of Randall. He's sticking his nose out, just showing him he's there. Randall's got the inside line though. Ty will just stick in behind him. But is there something I've missed? Has Randall made a small mistake? He's certainly slipped off the back of Naked, and he's got Ty all over the back end of him at the moment. Has he missed a braking point? Has he missed a gear? Has he done something that has lost him that time to Naked and brought Morgo right into the mix? Just on 46 minutes left to go of this 1 hour race. No compulsory pit stops tonight. But again, will be interesting to see if the boys take it. You can see there on our little timing totem, Jimbo has extended his lead on John. So Jimbo looks like he may very well have picked up the pace. Or has John fallen off the pace? See if we can't find ourselves a little bit of tie. I'm sure there's got to be a better way of going through the totem here. Seriously, guys. That is some good racing, isn't it? Ty's got him. Now, do we think Randall can stick with him? Or do you reckon that now that Ty's got a little bit of clean air, he's going to go after chasing down Naked? Or is he going to be watching his mirrors? Because Randall, I don't think Randall... I mean, look, you know, we've got 44 and a half minutes to go. There's no need to be desperate at the moment, but you certainly don't want to lose touch, especially in a situation like this. But I think what you'll find too is the more that these guys are battling, you know, we're braking later, we're trying to get more and earlier acceleration out of the corners. Are we going to cook some tyres? Are we going to see guys come in for tyres but no fuel? Have they fueled up for that 1 hour race? And can they keep their tyres in decent nick? You know, you can see tyres there, and they certainly feel like they're slipping a bit. Well, they do to me. You guys might be different. I'll just jump back. Let's have a look, see if we've got any close ones here. Gaza, 0.7 behind Shamrock, 0.8 for St. Sim behind Stu. John is now 10.4 seconds behind Jimbo. So Jimbo has just lit it up. He's really taken off on this one. No, not what I'd call any really close battles. So we might just sit here and flick through the totem a little bit. Try and pick up each driver until we can see a battle that might develop. But Jimbo's certainly out there on his own. Now he's this guy here, like when you're 10.7 seconds up, there's no pressure. I mean, everyone knows there's race pressure, but at the moment, this would be just like practice for Jimbo. There's nothing in front of him. He can't see anything in his mirrors behind him, so he's just out there cutting laps. There's no pressure. No pressure on getting past anyone in front of you. No pressure on someone coming up behind you. He has got clean air. He's almost got the length of the main straight free. Right, St. Sim is 0.1 behind Stu. Oh, Exo's just hit the wall there in the background. That won't be good for him. I think he's probably pushing so hard to try and pick up the pace here. He just seems to be falling that little bit behind these guys. 6.5 behind St. Sim, and he's just clipped the wall, so he will not be very happy with this. Does not look like it's Exo's night tonight. Even Sim's just fallen off the back of Stu there a little bit. Gaz is half a second behind Shamrock. Ty half a second behind Naked. Oh, who was that? I missed that. Who was that on the side there? Naked blade spun. Oh, thanks, Coop. Oh, geez, I can't even... Oh, geez, he's dropped way back, hasn't he? Oh, he's... Wow. He's duffed that big time. This would be interesting to see if Naked pops in. Do we look like we've got a lot of damage there? It certainly doesn't seem to be any scuff marks on that car. He spun. Did he not hit the wall? It doesn't look like there's any damage, but then we don't know. In car's a totally different story. The car might look great on the outside, but it might be might have a minute and a half, 2 minutes worth of damage. He's coming into the pits for sure. He might. I'd say Naked might have some damage. Is he going to fix the damage? Get a new fresh pair of boots? Bit of fuel? I think these guys will be fueled up for the whole race, so maybe Naked's going to go for some tyres and some damage repair. It's certainly pushed him way back. That's a bit of a bugger. But this from the man who was running second and then third, and he's just... That's what I mean. Just one minor mistake, and he's gone from top 5 to last. It's not what we want to see from anyone, but you know, this is racing. Accidents, mistakes happen. Jimbo's coming up to lap him while he's sitting in the pits. Jimbo just seems to be increasing that lead so much. Great to see Naked continue on, you know. Sad thing is he's a long way behind, but I think it's just great to see that he's not giving up. It seemed like a quick pit stop too, didn't it? So he's either had no damage, not fixed it, or he's fixed it because it's minimal, maybe got a new set of boots. Be great if we could see his pit crew and what they're doing on that car, like tyres, fuel. I'd like to see a little animated character out there with a sledgehammer fixing the damage, or creating more, either way you look at it. So no, take my hat off to Naked. He's made a mistake. He's fallen back to last place, but he is not giving up. He's done whatever he's done to the car, and he's back out there and pushing. He's going to have a lot of work to catch up to Naked. Up to XO. But he's got just over 37 minutes to do that. So as you can see there, every driver has their own breathing space. And Jimbo just seems to be out there increasing his lead. You do realise that next time I commentate with Jimbo or play golf with Jimbo, do you know how much I'm going to have to listen to him carry on about how this race was a walk in the park? I take my hat off to him. He's driving really well, but geez, the bragging rights. He's going to be bragging about this race for at least the next week. I'll just have to remind him who beats him at golf. Let's go for a wander. So Naked, there goes my sound again. Is that just me? I think it's my headset plugging into my controller. naked doing the right thing, letting the quicker boys go past. Not necessarily quicker, but he's just unfortunate that he's ended up way back where he has. Ty 5.9 seconds behind John. 2.9 second buffer over Randall. So the guys have really found their rhythm now. We might just jump down to St. Sim. Yep, thanks Coop. Great minds, mate. Might try... Oh, Jimbo's jumped into the pits. So maybe some tyres are going to need to be changed here. But Jimbo's certainly jumping into the pits for something. Has he clashed with a wall? Are his tyres going off? I would have thought Jimbo would definitely have put enough fuel in for this race. So I think with the pit stop optional, I think most guys, and it's only a thought, but maybe most guys are going to stop for tyres. Stu seems to be getting that little bit over St. Sim there. I might try and be fancy and jump in the car with St. Sim, because this is certainly our closest battle at the moment. And I'm glad I got Coop there keeping an eye on the racing as well. And 2 eyes are always better than one. If you keep this up, Coop, you might even get dragged in for commentary, mate. Like I say, they're optional. We've seen Jimbo go into the pits. Now, is everyone else going to try and nurse their toes? Or do you think Jimbo might have put on a fresh set of boots just to get that extra pace for the next 32.5 minutes? But is anyone, if no one else stops the tyres, can Jimbo come back up? Can he come back up the order on fresh tyres? Stu's certainly not giving up on this. Good under brakes, look at that. Brought him right back up under Stu there. What's this corner going to bring? Look at that. Oh, see, this is the thing with this simulator. Everyone has their own braking points. St. Sim would have been keeping his eye on his braking point, but he's probably got the slipstream there and just maybe, you know, Stu's hit the brakes that little bit earlier than what St. Sim would. St. Sim being in the draft, he's missed his braking marker, or maybe didn't realise that the draft had sucked him right in. There's a number of reasons that this can happen. But I have no doubt, like, Sim is pulling Stu back, especially under brakes. all these cars will be, straight line speed won't be that much different. It will all come down to how the boys have set their cars up, but there won't be a lot of difference there. I would imagine that their tyre pressures are all very similar. XO's returned to the garage. Alright, we'll keep an eye on this battle. Has XO bailed, or is he just...
We are halfway through, not over yet.
Let's see what XO's up to. Just sit with XO for a minute. There's no ultra close battles. But what was our race leader, Jimbo, pulling into the pits for what we can only assume was a fresh set of tyres, has dropped to 9th place. XO under yellow flag. Is XO going to join us? He might be getting some damage fixed. Now, Coop, do we know, judging by that time there, did XO drive into the pits or did he send himself back to the pits? Gaz has just joined him in the pits. So I'm thinking some of these guys are going to end up stopping for tyres. I can't imagine Watkins Glen is the most friendly place on tyres. Happy to be proven wrong. Okay, he's clicked to return to pitch. Yeah, he's not going anywhere fast, is he, Coop? I'd say Gaz is taking tyres. You can see there on our totem, John has not got what I would call a massive lead over time. So again, I think it will come down to pits. Or sorry, tyres. You can't see. You can't see tyre pressures on this, can we? Well, we can, but there's no indication. Now, is that because he's just pitted? So we might just stick with Gaz here for the moment and just see if that tyre pressure just underneath his gears there changes. And he might be giving us a 0 reading because he's just changed his tyres. Let's just jump in with, alright, let's just jump in with Kimbo and have a quick squeeze there. No, same deal. So we're not getting an indication on tyre pressures. So I can't tell if Gaza has pulled into tyres or not. We certainly don't have any close battles at the moment. That's a pity. That doesn't show us that XO's in the pits, but we can obviously see he is. Now, I'm going to hazard a guess and say that XO has parked up for the night. We're 6 minutes down for his lap time. So I don't know, XO not having the best night. He's not what I'd call too far off the pace back in the pack there, but I did see him clip the wall at one point, so whether XO has not set his car up properly or whether he's just not feeling it tonight, he's just sent himself back to the pits. He may just be parked up there for the night. We'll have to wait and see. He's 4 laps down. No shame in that, XO. I don't know how many times I've sent myself back to the pits because I just don't feel it. All right, Come on, Coop, give me a shout out. Anyone, give me a shout out of who they might want to jump on board with. As you can see there, we certainly don't have any close racing. Harris is 2.5 seconds behind Randall. Ty's not making a huge dint on John there at the moment. 2.4. St. Sim, after making that bit of a mistake under brake, has sent him 2.4 seconds behind Stu. So we don't have a lot of close racing at the moment. The guys have really settled into a rhythm where they're giving themselves some space. We can see car number 67. Naked is coming up behind. I know he's coming up behind Ty. I'd say Ty's just got past him there. So give me a shout out if there's someone to jump on board with. Gazza, as you can see, Gazza is just way out on his own. He's got not a worry in the world. He's literally going for a Sunday drive. Car 16, Shamrock, yellow. Caught Jimbo right up behind him by the look of it. Might just jump in with Jimbo and see what he can do. Coming up here, straight past Shamrock. But I don't think was that the position. The totem's not showing us at the moment. Ty's taking a little bit more time out of Big John. Pardon me. As you can see, there's a fairly decent gap from all the boys here. XA's 100% I'd say he's parked at the line. So that was for position. Jimbo had dropped right back to 9th. He's now put himself back up to 6th. His pedals hit the dust. Oh, mate, bad luck on that one. That's rotten luck. And tell me, mate, that is just one of the most common problems, I think, in our leagues, is guys not being able to complete race. They've got to park it up because their pedals disconnect. I know Stu from our Sunday night league. He used to have a lot of problems with his pedals. Back in the day, I used to have a lot of problems just with my wheel disconnecting. Went through a month or so there with my wheel disconnecting, and then all of a sudden it just come good and hasn't done it for like over a year. So go figure. But mate, that's rotten luck. Absolute rotten luck. Pedals disconnecting, and yeah, no wonder you park it. That's a shame, mate. So again, everyone just seems to be out for a Sunday drive at the moment. Plenty of breathing space between all drivers. Just over 21 minutes to go. Now tell me, are these guys doing this deliberately? This has got to be one of the most boring races I think I've seen. The guys are out there just, it's almost like they're just out there for practice at the moment. Yeah, that you were, mate, that you were. Oh, mate, look, it can't be helped, can it, mate? That's, what can I say? That is just really rotten luck, you know. I did see you clip the wall there at one point, though, and I don't know, was that anything to do with your pedals, or was that just driver error? Either way, mate, it's great to see you back racing. So Jimbo's trying. Should we just jump on board with Jimbo and see if he can... Let's see if we can't get a bird's eye view of Jimbo trying to chase down Saint Sim. Don't know why I did that. Let's see what Jimbo did. Traction control of 5 out of 11. I would have thought Jimbo would have been around 2 or 3 for the traction control. He's certainly gaining on Saint Sim, so he might just sit with Jimbo for a minute. Saint Sim's got a little bit of... Oh! Give him space, Jimbo. It's past him. Saint Sim had a little bit of damage on the back there. Oh no. Oh, that's not good, mate. That's a funny thing, isn't it, too? It doesn't seem to matter how many laps in how many cars on how many tracks you do on this sim. You know, I think we're all quite capable of running these cars around the track, but you know, it doesn't matter how consistent we are. It only takes one little thing to throw you out of whack, and it just ruins your night. But you know, your night hasn't been ruined from just clipping the wall there, mate. Your night's been ruined because you pedalled. That's a real bugger. That's a shame. But like I say, mate, it's so good to see you back racing. Can't wait to get out on track with you. Alright, let's go back, see if we've got anyone coming up behind anyone. Still have great gaps, don't we? Sorry guys, I can't even bring you anyone who's close. Jimbo's on the move, but you know, 11.5 seconds down behind Stu. I think Jimbo may have shot himself in the foot with that pit stop. He's got 17 minutes and 20 seconds. I can't see him making up so much time. He's got to be a good 30 plus seconds behind John. And Ty's still chipping away at John. You can see there he's down to just over 3 seconds. So he's chipping away at him. Just under 17 minutes. Has Ty got enough time to pull back 3.2 seconds on John? As you can see there, 10 seconds behind Stu, who's 12 seconds behind Harris, who's 3.5 behind Randall, who's 9. So Jimbo, I think, whatever his pit stop was for, I think Jimbo is going to be kicking himself. He had a very, very handy lead. I don't think he clipped the ball. Oh, mate, Bathurst, yeah. Oh, the good old times. Dude, mate, XO, I remember, I think I'm still in your race lobby for Discord, mate. Tell me that's not going back a while. Oh, I hear what you're saying though, mate. The good old days of Bathurst. I'll tell you what, XO, we have been racing a long time together. We really have. A long time. Been a good 3 years now, easy, I reckon. If not more. Right, so I think the closest one we have now would be Harris. Harris coming up behind Randall. So let's try and jump in with Harris and see if we can get a bird's eye view of the boys here. As I said earlier, these guys, they seem to have these cars dialed in quite well. They don't appear to be fighting with their wheel. All these cars seem to be nice, steady. So obviously with these cars, you've got to set these cars up like a real race car. There's no just jumping in it. You can pick a standard setting like a safe setup or an aggressive setup, but at the end of the day, that will only get you so far. You need to spend the time in these cars to find out what the car's going to do to get the setup right for your driving style. And a lot of the guys that have jumped in tonight seem to have these cars really dialed into their own driving style. No one seems to be really fighting with the car tonight. See, that just looked like a very smooth corner there from Harris. And he's certainly got Randall thinking, because Randall's mirrors, all he can see right now is Harris. He may have overcooked it slightly there, but he snatched it back. He wouldn't have lost too much there. It's only 0.8 down on his quickest lap. When you look at, oh sorry, 0.28 it was, but he's now 1.12. Look at that, that's not a hell of a lot of time at all. That's literally a blink and you miss it. He will be getting a little bit of a tow from Randall. He'd be close enough just to be getting a slight tow here. A little bit of movement of Randall on the straight there. Is he trying to shake him off? Whoop. Randall's got Naked in front of him. Naked's certainly not going to be a problem here. Naked has got his own pace. You know, there's a reason why the guy was in the top 3 in quality. And he's on P1 for practice. So I don't think Naked is going to come into this at the moment. And if he does, he's a lap or so down, so Naked will do the right thing and just bail out, let the boys go past. These guys are obviously fighting for a podium. So it's going to be interesting. We might just sit with these guys for the moment. Like I say, this is for a podium position. Ty 14 seconds down behind John. I'd say if John can keep his nose clean, 12 minutes to go. John may very well pick up a race win here, not a race ring. Oh, I think Harris seems to get right up behind Randall, and I don't know, maybe he gets a little bit excited. He seems to, every time he gets close to Randall, there's a little mistake that loses him just that little bit of time. Now is he getting there? Naked's going to let the boys go. Great sportsmanship from Naked. Well done, mate. You probably could have kept him in front of him, but no, well done. You're just staying right out of the way. Great sportsmanship. Yeah, and Harrison, he gets right up behind Randall, but I don't know if he's getting that little bit excited, or if he's so close he's in the draft, and I think we all know, you know, you get that little bit too close in the draft, and it does, it affects your speed into the corner, it affects your braking. There's a number of factors there that it does affect, so if you're going to be sitting behind someone that close coming to a corner, you've got to be very, very sure you're going to have to brake that little bit earlier, because you certainly don't want to be hitting them up the backside. So there's a few things you've got to take into consideration that may cause you to lose that time. So I think Harris has certainly got the pace on Randall, but he's not finishing off that overtake manoeuvre. I think he's just got to be that little bit more patient. Come right up behind Randall, give yourself some breathing space. He's very, very deep in the corners, where Randall, as much as Harris looks quite smooth in the corners, he seems to be braking very deep. And Randall certainly looks like he's very smooth in the corners. He's not forcing the car to do what he doesn't want it to do. Whereas Harris is I don't know, he's braking very deep, which gains him a lot of time on Randall, but then I think that deep braking is causing very, very minor little mistakes that give Randall that breathing space just to skip away. So I think Harris is just got to be a little bit patient here. Get your brake points. Get your acceleration out of the corners nice and smooth. Oh no. Thanks, Coop. Oh, naked spun again. He's having a shocker of a night. Quickest in practice. What was he, Coop? P2 in qualifying. He's just, he's not having a great night tonight, Naked. This is why, Naked, you should have jumped in, mate, and joined me in the commentary. Would have been more than happy to have you tonight, mate. And the thing is, I think I'm a shit commentator, but I think I'm a better commentator than I am a driver. Alright, come on Harris, nice and patient, mate, nice and patient. Don't try and brake too deep. Hit your braking markers, come up behind Randall, and then take the fight to him. Don't let him put you under the pump, mate. You might just go and check out Totem while Harris is sneaking up behind Randall. I understand why he's getting a little bit excited. Everyone wants to finish on the podium. So that is Shamrock's similar pace behind Saint Simon. Harrison's dropped down to just over a second behind Randall now. Ty Morgo, Coop, you're going to have to help me keep an eye on this one, mate. Ty is 2.2 seconds behind Big John with just under 7 minutes to go. Actually, I think that's another question too. Is Harris having issues with tyre wear? Because everyone is going to be in the same boat. There's only been a couple of boys who have stopped for the pits. I'd say Naked Wade has parked it up for the night. Shamrock close that he is, mate. I'm keeping an eye on that. Oh, he's spun. Shamrock spun. Oh dear. You called it, Coop. Yep. He was very close, but then he's, I wish I'd have got there quicker than that. Wish I had have got there quicker than that. So I'll have to keep an eye on this. This is our closest battle at the moment. But I'm certainly keeping an eye on Ty. 5.5, just under 5.5 minutes to go. Ty is certainly pushing hard. Jump on to, see if we can't jump on to, no. A little bit of wear and tear on that rear spoiler. Oh no. Harrison pushed it that little bit hard. Is that tyre wear? Are these, look, I would imagine after nearly an hour at Watkins Glen, these boys are probably struggling with tyres at the moment. So our closest battle now is 3.4 seconds from Ty to John. .320 to go in this race. We'll just jump on John. We might jump on board with John. Gives you a little bit of perspective there. Ty's certainly not giving up on this. Just under 3 minutes to go. Can Ty pull off something amazing? Certainly not giving up. Definitely have to have a chat with him during the week and find out his thought process behind that pit stop. Took him from what, a 12-second lead to now in 6th place. I don't think if he's changed tyres, I don't think those tyres have really done what he wanted them to do. John will see Ty in his mirror there, but I certainly don't think he's going to be overly fussed at the moment. John knows he's got just under 2 minutes to go. All he's got to do is be consistent, put in a couple of nice clean laps, and John will take this win with a nice little gap, a bit of breathing space to spare. As you can see on the chase cam there, Ty's there, but he's certainly not worrying John at this stage. And again, with just under a minute and a half to go, I don't think Ty is going to be in any position to threaten John for the win. So we will stick with, or we will come back to these guys for the race win. We'll try and get everyone coming over the line. We certainly don't have any close battles. All right, I think what we'll do, I think we're just going to stick with John here for his final lap. You dropped to third at one point, John. Jimbo's catching fast. All right, we'll keep an eye on that. So Jimbo, catching fast for 5th? Certainly don't want to miss John's victory here. Jimbo is catching very fast, isn't he, Coop? Keep an eye on that. Jimbo's certainly pushing hard. I might miss that battle. I'd certainly like to see John come over the line for his victory. Can't take that away from John. Certainly a nice, clean, consistent drive tonight. I know Jimbo may get him. He certainly, he probably... Here we go. Congratulations, John. Great victory, mate. Good, clean drive.
The leader has finished the race.
Well done. Tie for 2nd place. Again, great drive. Randall just that little bit down. Oh, Jimbo is 0.1 behind Stu. Congratulations to Randall. Harris, bit of a bugger, mate. Very good drive. If you hadn't have spun it, it could have been a different story for a podium there. Jimbo's got him. Certainly has. No, well done, boys. Great racing. St. Sim looks like a little bit of a few scuff marks on that Porsche. But another great drive. Well done. Drop back to Shamrock. Shamrock really kind of needs to keep it clean. Gaz is not that far behind. I don't want to celebrate too early, mate. That's what happens. So our top 3, John got the win. Great clean drive. Ty Morgo 5.4 seconds further down. Another great drive. Randall, congratulations on a podium, 3rd place, 14.9 seconds behind. Harris, bad luck there, mate. That spin in the last few minutes of the race, that could have been a different story between you and Randall. Jimbo, I don't know what happened with Jimbo there in that pit stop, but 12.1 seconds further back. That's your top 5. The rest of the guys, Stu Wilson, St. Sim, Shamrock, Gaza, Naked and Exo. So well done to our podium getters. Well done to everyone on a good race tonight. We had some big gaps between a lot of the drivers. Had a few good little battles there initially, but with the boys just spacing out there and giving themselves some breathing space, they kind of a few of them were out there just on their lonesome. But a great night. Thank you to everyone who viewed in. Thank you, Exo and Coop. Love it when you throw a few comments our way. That's really good value. Helps me talk crap to you guys. Gives me something to talk about. So, no, thank you very much. Yeah, what a race, Jimbo. You should have just stayed at home. I'll have to ask you, Jimbo, just before I do sign off, Jimbo, just very, very quickly, why pit? Was that just for tyres? Were your tyres going off?
Green light. Go, go, go.
because you had such a great lead there, and I was quite surprised when you came into the pits, mate. It's all right, TB. You can always flick back and watch it again. Yeah, exactly, mate. Watch it back later. Listen to my dulcet tones, mate. You'll probably watch it and fall asleep. All right, we'll probably have a chat to Jimbo a little bit later on. Even if we don't talk to Jimbo, we might get Jimbo to explain that pit stop on Sunday night's broadcast. But in the meantime, thank you for everyone who has joined in and viewed the stream tonight. Thank you to everyone who is going to give it a watch a bit later on. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. Again, thank you very much for joining. Well done to everyone who raced tonight. It's been a good night, and we'll talk to you soon. If you don't join in for Sunday night's league, hopefully we'll see you again next Tuesday night. All right? I don't know what Jimbo's doing, but he's a nutcase. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Been a pleasure. Talk to you soon, and thank you very much.